Hello and happy St. Patrick's Day. This is Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of RegAlytics, with your update on this week's 43,193 regulatory alerts. If you are watching this before noon Eastern, there is still time to catch the live version of Compliance Unplugged with Mary and Laura. We will be interviewing one of my faves, Pawnee Abramowski, and talking about SEC enforcement today compared to SEC enforcement this time last year. Before we dive in today, I want to flag that we have updated our coverage numbers. So this week we have 43,193 alerts from 11,475 agencies in 24 sectors. Every week that number of agencies keeps climbing now that our new tech is out, and I love it. The regulator of the week is the White House. 3 executive orders came out on the same day, all focused on housing. One directs the CFPB, the Federal Reserve, the FDIC, and the FHFA to reduce regulatory burdens on community banks and modernize mortgage origination standards. The goal is to make it easier for smaller banks to lend for home purchases. A second order goes after the environmental and permitting rules that have been driving up the cost of actually building homes. It specifically calls for rolling back wetland, stormwater, and energy efficiency requirements that the administration views as obstacles to affordable construction. A third order targets false Made in America claims. The FTC is now supposed to be focusing on enforcement against sellers and manufacturers that are slapping stickers on products that don't qualify, and they may face potential False Claims Act if they misrepresent the country of origin. Also, a separate report from the Congressional Research Service talked about how courts are systematically blocking the administration's offshore wind executive orders. A number of these have been enjoined, as well as a union contract for 320,000 Virginia employees that has violated the First Amendment and the Administrative Procedure Act. So we keep having these White House issuing executive orders at a very high pace, and then we have courts over time saying not so fast. And this tension back and forth is a really big part of the regulatory story, and it's one that we're obviously tracking closely. The topic of the week is Truth Social. And today I want to ask you a question rather than just give you information. Should RegAlytics onboard Trump's commentary from Truth Social as a regulatory alert type? I got a case for and against. The case for is clearly the guy uses Truth Social as a primary communication channel when he posts something about tariffs, about specific companies, about a policy. Markets are moving and people are acting. And if you accept that regulatory intelligence means tracking what is going to affect your business, then a social media post certainly signals an upcoming executive action, and it's maybe an indicator. Here's the case against it. So RegAlytics is a data infrastructure company. We deal in official regulatory alerts from official regulatory bodies. A Truth Social post is not a rule. It's not a proposed rule. It's not an enforcement action. It's not a speech with formal regulatory weight. If we start mixing presidential tweets with SEC enforcement actions and CFTC proposed rules, we risk confusing the signal. And our clients are building GRC products and compliance workflows on top of our data. And so introducing opinion-based social media content into a structured regulatory data set creates a question. Like, I just don't know. And I would love to hear from you about your views, and particularly whether or not you actually want to see it in a structured alert format where you need to take action on it. Go ahead and let us know in the comments what your views on this issue. But in the meantime, that's it this week for RegAlytics. We have the global supply chain of the world's regulatory alerts in one very easy to use place. If you need a solution for anything related to regulation, give us a call.